Hey guys, it's Perry. Today I'm going to talk about Viego builds. A lot of you guys are asking, is it Hubris first, Collector first? What are we doing about Voltaic? Is Kraken bad now? What about Conqueror? Why are you going Halo Blades? Okay, I'm going to try to answer as many of the questions as I can. I have a practice tool loaded as well, so I'll show you guys some examples of what's really happening with the build and what really, what really comes into play when I decide why Halo Blades is, the thing I've been running recently. But ultimately, guys, Viego builds are really dependent on the state of the game, the composition the enemy has. I will always emphasize that there is always positions and reasonings for these different builds on Viego. It's the same thing with like any champion in the game. Like sometimes you can go lethality on Jarvan. Sometimes you can go like AP Shaco, AD Shaco, or AP Jax versus regular Jax. Like there's all sorts of different builds. You see some sort of like crazy Rocket Belt Orianna builds, Rocket Belt Vel'Koz builds. There's all sorts of different things that you can do on different champions. So you need to make sure you understand that like there isn't one perfect build 24/7. Sometimes there's a build that's going to do slightly better than something else. For example, Blade of the Rune King is actually really good when the enemies have champions like Dr. Mundo or Tom Kench, because those champions build pure HP. Like you're going Heartsteel Dusk and Dawn on the Tom Kench, maybe you're going Heartsteel Warmogs. Mundo is obviously going Heartsteel Warmogs. So then Blade of the Rune King actually gets a mad value on Viego. So like sometimes items can come into slot that's like, oh, usually it's not that good, but in this case, maybe it is. So let's just talk about the actual build paths here, and then let's jump in and let's just like talk about what I recommend as your generic build. So first off with runes, we have Halo Blades, Sudden Impact, Sixth Sense. You can also go Grizzly. Sixth Sense is good because you get to spot the ward ahead of time. I personally like that. But Grizzly is also nice because you have more sweepers. Treasure Hunter for a bit more acceleration. Triumph, Alacrity, attack speed, adaptive, and HP scaling. So why Halo Blades over Conqueror? Let's just talk about this real quick. It doesn't matter if you go Kraken, it doesn't matter if you go Collector, Halo Blades, or sorry, Hubris or Voltaic. Halo Blades is just better than in Conqueror 99% of the time. Why is that the case? It's because Viego is a one-shot champion. He is a traditional one-shot champ. You go in, you go for a reset, and you're done. That's all you're doing, right? I'm looking to combo one time and do as much damage as I can, and then walk away. I either kill him or I don't. That's the game plan for Viego. If you kill him, you go crazy. If you don't, you walk away, you reset the fight. A lot of people like the Conqueror is like you proc it quickly and it helps and you deal with more AD, but you don't combo as quickly without Halo Blades. Like your Halo Blades just makes you combo so much quicker. So even if you go Kraken, you do that combo so quickly, you get all your damage off. Boom, in an instant, in like a second, that's all my damage right there. You can go, Collector, same thing when Halo Blades is up, boom, full combo, and it's because Viego is a Assassin champion now. He's not a Bruiser champion. If you're playing Bruiser Viego, you're going Triforce, Sundered Sky, or Kraken Sundered Sky into Death's Dance, Black Cleaver. Nobody builds like that anymore. I miss my cue, but like that's your combo, right? It's like with the Halo Blades, you bang, 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 bang. So yeah, no more Conqueror. Halo Blades is the better rune on Viego. The 1% of the time where Conqueror actually works is if the enemy is full like 5 melee champions, and you're gonna get more value from the like 5 melee tank champions. If they're bruisers are not stacking that much HP or armor. Like the only armor they're buying is Death's Dance, and they're buying maybe like a plated steel caps. So they're gonna have like what's that, like 75 extra armor. But a tank, if they're like true tanks, Frozen Heart, they're going for a Randuin's, they're going for a they're going for real stupid ass broken ass armor items. If that's the case, there's a bunch of people who are just stacking armor. Then Conqueror gets more value because you're gonna have a harder time to kill them. Okay, now let's talk about the difference between Collector, Kraken, and Voltaic, and Hubris. So there's four different items. Let's look at them. So Collector, Kraken, Voltaic, and Hubris. And I will say there's a time and place for all of them. So pretty much the way I look at this setup right here, and we're gonna talk about Kraken Slayer as our first item. Kraken Slayer is a stronger first item power spike. It's the most consistent and will always deal the most damage consistently. The thing about Kraken Slayer is like once you get that third hit in, your on hit damage just always gives you guaranteed value. Okay, so Kraken is always going to be up there on the guaranteed value. So just remember this. First item, Kraken gives you more guaranteed value. Voltaic also is like right next to Kraken in guaranteed value. When you auto attack someone, you deal 9% of the target's current health as bonus damage, and you gain 15 lethality. So this item gives you 25 total lethality and a bunch of other stats along with the active. So you deal so much damage with the Voltaic. Voltaic is also really, really, really consistent. Okay, so Kraken and Voltaic are the consistent items. I'll talk about the difference between them in a second. I'm gonna go through Hubris and Collector real quick. Hubris is only if you are Omega snowballing. So if I'm like 3 kills in the early game and I have a serrated Dirk because I'm planning to go for a collector, or like I have 3 kills on my first recall, okay, go Hubris, because you are absolutely giga snowballed and you will snowball the game and get so much value from killing people on repeat. That's the only way Hubris actually finds value. You need to be snowballed. Collector is my favorite item, and why is that? It's because crit chance on Viego is so broken when you pair it with Infinity Edge. Look at my Q right here. It says dealing 309 physical damage. If I buy a crit cloak, my Q now does 334 damage from a crit cloak. Now let's buy a longsword, and my Q went from, I think it was like 309, I might be mistaken, but it went from, yeah, let's see, 309 to 317. All right, 317. The crit cloak gives you more damage on your Q, and if we look at our ultimate does 437. Without the crit cloak, it does 401. So you're getting more damage on your Qs and your ulti from the crits. And when you get 75% crit chance, there's a fun thing about Viego. I'll search it up for you guys right here too, real quick. Lol Wiki Viego. Let's do it live right now. Viego has a special thing with Infinity Edge, where Infinity Edge just helps you deal more damage. Like, quite literally. The second strike can critically strike for 200% of the damage and does more from IE. And then the Q active deals more from IE. And then your ultimate gets more damage from crit chance and IE. So, getting more crits is very powerful on Viego. And that's why I like Collector, because I'm going Collector into LDR into Infinity Edge, and that's 75% crit chance, and that stomps people. It absolutely crushes them. Now, let's talk about the difference between Voltaic, Kraken, and Collector, because we know Hubris is only when you're snowballing. Kraken is really, like, just a solid item, but I feel like it doesn't do as well as you scale into the game, because people generally just have a lot of armor as the game progresses. And especially if they buy like a plated steel caps, you tend to like struggle killing people who have plated steel caps, killing people who build any armor whatsoever. I am a firm hater of the Kraken Slayer because they buy armor and you're kind of cooked. Voltaic is decent because lethality does well into armor. It helps at least, especially into those squishy champions. So if I were to decide between Voltaic and Kraken, I would go Voltaic personally because I am playing Viego like a true assassin. The lethality makes more sense on paper. I want to assassinate them as fast as possible. That's what the lethality does for me. I am going to go Kraken if the enemies are a bit tankier, if they're bruisery. If there's like 3 or 4 bruisers, still Halo Blades, Kraken will be like a little bit better because you're going to have more autos into them. You're not really going to be able to one-shot them. And then Collector, personally, my favorite. Just the best. And the reason for that is because, again, if I go for a build like this, Voltaic, Collector into LDR, I don't get 50% crit chance. I don't even get Infinity Edge until my 4th item. Usually, you don't even get to 4th item. Like rare cases, do you get to 4 items, and you actually have that much impact. Like in this case, I am power spiked so much faster into the game, and I'm 75% crit chance, and it makes my Q and everything in my kit just do so much damage. Like, watch my Q damage here. It's 376, right? That feels great. And then if we, let's say, sell this, we have like these two here. My Q is still gonna do good damage. Don't get me wrong, right? It's 290 though. Like, do you guys see the difference? Like, I don't have my IE. I don't have my IE, I don't have my fucking crit chance. I deal so much less damage for my Q. And I want that as my guaranteed value spell. Kraken Slayer, 281. Like, are you shitting me? And then look at what the Infinity Edge does. Bang! 370 damage. You deal like 100 extra damage from your IE. Like that's why I like this item so much. If I ult here, that does 700 damage, right? 700 damage on that execute. If we sell this, we go for a we'll go back to Voltaic, and let's just queue this here. And we go ahead and we ult this 572. Like you guys are seeing the difference, right? Let's even give myself the extra lethality to make sure no one's like complaining I don't have the extra lethality. Okay. Bang. I mean, I actually didn't help me do any more damage. Right? Why, yeah, because it's like yeah. Like lethality is not making your ulti do more damage. But you guys see the difference. And then we like hubris as well. Like hubris is the same thing. Even if we're hubris and we have 40 stacks, my Q, hubris is nice. It does a nice extra amount of damage, but IE, it's just so consistent. I think it's because I have the extra lethality here. Oh no, I have an extra item. Whoops. Yeah, IE is just so consistent. Look at that. So the thing is, this is a dummy with no armor and no like anything. So let's add this to, let's say, how much armor I would have. Around 70, sure. And we're gonna give this guy HP as well. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna queue here 297, 297, 297. We sell this. We go for a Kraken. Our Q now does 222, right? And our hubris does, hubris is nice because lethality. Let's buy some extra AD. It's actually nice because the lethality really does help, and the Voltaic will also help you a good amount here too. So let's proc the energized. Bang, bang, bang. So the thing that comes closest right now, the thing that comes closest to someone with stacking armor is actually the Voltaic. Like that's like the funniest thing is like the Voltaic. Like I've been wrong. The Voltaic is actually the closest thing that comes to dealing the most damage. Like up next to like what I think Collector Kraken, Collector LDR into Infinity Edge. But I still think this is the most consistent thing to play for because Voltaic is just a little bit harder to buy. Like my first back could be a full Serena Dirk, 20 AD, 10 lethality, or it can be a pickaxe and like maybe a moat, like it's like 25 AD. You're just a little bit weaker. That's the only reason why I like Collector a bit better for the early game. And then also, again, if we do a full combo, let me show you. So full combo with the energized, we're gonna go Q, auto W, auto R. So we did 2197, right? We're gonna buy IE. We're going to get rid of our energized. Make sure we don't have lethality. So 2196, Voltaic. And then we're gonna Q, auto W, auto R. And it does actually a little bit less, right? But that's because you have crit chance. Crit chance isn't... Oh, actually, I don't even think I had my hail blades going. Let's try it one more time. Q, auto, W, auto, R. That's actually, yeah, it's actually a bit less. And I think the big reason for this is because crit chance, but also, like, low-key... Hold on, let's try it one more time. If I get more crits, I wonder if I will actually deal more damage here. Q, auto, W, auto, R. Yeah, it's actually, like, about the same. So like low key, maybe Voltaic is generally just like Giga OP. Like maybe I'm discovering right now live with you guys here that Voltaic might be OP. Oh no, because I crit with the Voltaic as well. So because it still depends. I think I got max crits with the Voltaic. So yeah, it really does depend on the crit chance as well. Unfortunately, there's no way to like fully simulate this. But like you'll see that the numbers come out to relatively similar with Voltaic and with the IE. But let's try the Kraken Slayer now, and you'll see that, like, you're actually dealing so much less damage. It's like, it's not even fun. Full combo, right? You're dealing so much less damage. So if you guys want to go this Kraken, just understand that as the game progresses, you're dealing so much less damage, and it really sucks. So between Voltaic and, like, Collector LDR, IE, I personally would still do this, because right now I have 90% crits, and this just feels so good. Let's let me wait for the hail base to be up. This just feels so good because you full combo and you get like so much more crits. We got an extra auto at the end. 2296. Let's say we bought this. We'll take here and we do a full combo. I just don't feel like I'm gonna do 2997 IE plus crit cloak. Right now we have a crit cloak and we do like significantly less. Like I want to test that again, but like you see what I mean. Like when you crit with IE. You deal so much damage. So I want you guys to understand that I am playing for my crit chance as the game progresses because my Q does more damage, my R does more damage, And if I get 100% crit chance, there's no way for me to fuck it up. But like you see here, though, the Voltaic does a lot of value as well. The Voltaic is also really, really strong. I need to do some more testing on whether Voltaic is better than the like 3 core crit items. I have a good feeling that Voltaic is not as bad as I'm thinking, and I should give it more of a chance. But either way, I hope you guys can see that Kraken is just not your play. If you're deciding between Voltaic and Collector LDR into IE, just choose one. Like, choose one, whatever feels a little better. I actually, looking at the numbers, I need to do some experimenting live in game. They both feel really good. Honestly, they both feel really, really good. So yeah, I hope this like cleans up the what do I buy on Viego? Do I go Kraken? Like, where's my Conqueror? I think Kraken is just really bad, especially when they changed the true damage. The true damage really gutted that item, especially on Viego. And I hope you guys can see why Hailblaze is so much more powerful and everything makes sense. So, real quick, guys, I wanted to add this because I kind of made more sense to me, like what you should do, because your 2-item spike really matters to the game. Voltaic Collector is really good because you can get so much lethality early on into the game, 35 lethality. If they're really squishy champs and they don't have much armor, then this sort of setup works really nicely. But let's say they're buying a bunch of armor, then you just want Collector straight into the LDR. So that's the difference. Like, your 2-item power split kind of tells you what you should be doing. Voltaic into Collector, like, honestly, maybe you can go Voltaic into LDR, but low-key, like, I don't think this is enough damage. Yeah, this is, like, significantly less damage. So you only go Voltaic if you can go for a Collector after. Otherwise, go for the Collector LDR. So let's say they're buying, like, 3 Zanyas, 3 Plated Steel Caps, Death's Dance. Collector LDR is better. But let's say they're buying no armor, Voltaic Collector is a bit better. Alright, guys. If you guys learned a thing or two, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.